So welcome to episode 2 of Leading the Moment with Dr. Jeremy Pickard, president here at Southwest Wisconsin Technical College. And Jeremy, you're the new president. How long does that new title stay?
That's a good question. I think the new can wear off pretty quickly. So 6 months to a year, probably closer to 6 months, and then your newness is probably worn off. And hopefully, I'm present and available and out there enough that it feels like, oh, you've only been here 6 months. It feels like you've been here a lot longer. I hope to have that feeling very shortly with folks.
Well, the great thing about this area, too, is you're going to make fast friends.
That's right.
You're going to be out in the community. Everybody's going to know you. You're going to know everybody. It's a great place to live and work for sure.
Yeah, and everybody knows everybody else.
Yes.
So everybody's somebody's cousin or somebody's relative or somebody's neighbor. We found that out very quickly.
That's right. So before we get into the big questions, let's start again with our quick 5, our rapid fire questions. Super important questions. Your favorite coffee flavor?
So I didn't enjoy coffee for a long time. Just thought it tasted very bitter. I had a colleague of mine introduce me to pour over coffee, and they said it takes some of the bitterness out. It leaves a lot more of the oils, and I was like, yeah, okay, you're gonna have to do more than just taking out the bitterness and leaving a few more oils in order for coffee that smells so great but tasted, in my opinion, not very well. You know, she was right. Served that cup of coffee, and I thought, wow, this is pretty good. And so my go-to right now is just a simple pour-over coffee with a little cream in it. Don't add any sugar, and I'm pretty standard. Not one of those fancy guys that goes to Starbucks and can order all the different things that are in there. It's just a straight pour-over coffee with a little cream.
Do you have a cutoff time for coffee? I know some people stop at noon or 5 o'clock.
No, I think coffee's diverse enough that you can, usually in the morning, that's usually what I drink. In the summertime, it's iced coffee because I do enjoy that as well. So hot, cold, afternoon one, not too much, but usually it has to be iced coffee after lunch for some reason.
Sure. All right. Sounds good. Next, your favorite hobby?
Oh, my favorite hobby. I just like doing things with my family, doing things with my kids. So my daughter and I enjoy a good four-wheeler ride in the evening when she comes home from school, just to get out and, let your hair blow a little bit on a four-wheeler. Usually I'm riding and she's driving. She's got a nickname. Her name is Samantha, so we call her Sammy No Brakes because she likes to get up and go as a teenager who gets to hop on a four-wheeler. My family, we like to get together and just laugh and have a good time. We play a lot of board games as a family as well, too, so we're kind of competitive. So we're always, hopefully somebody cries, somebody rage quits, and somebody gets to celebrate. That makes it for a really good board game in our family when those things happen. Very
good. Are you going to bring the four-wheeler to campus and zoom around on that?
I don't know. I see a lot of pretty nice side-by-sides rolling around. I might be a little intimidated if I bring my 2006 Arctic Cat to campus. I might need to get an upgrade before I roll into town.
That'd be another great video.
Yeah, that's right. That'd be good.
What's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, man. I have a lot of favorite movies. I think movies like Band of Brothers enjoy a lot. I like things that are either based on a true story or kind of documentary-like. So those things, those types of movies are important to me. But I'm always about a good action film, too. We talked about in our last podcast, Star Wars. I've always enjoyed them, Lord of the Rings. And then I just watched a recent one. It was called Project Hail Mary. So I read the book, and then I actually watched that movie and thought it was pretty good as well. So I'm good on pretty much anything. I'm not too much into the superhero movies. So when my kids want to take me to the movie theater, they always say I pay like $12 to take a nap during those. So it has to be something that captures my attention a little bit more, something maybe based on history.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, this is a regional thing, I think. Pop or soda?
That's interesting because I've traveled a lot for just my job and work in general, and so I usually call it soda, I think. But growing up, my family probably called it pop. So you hear both of those in there, but I think I would call it soda. I'm going to go get a soda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of in the same vein, is it bubbler or water fountain?
Oh, it's a water fountain. Yeah, I don't even know what a bubbler is, so I'll go with water fountain.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
I like that. Very good.
What is it here? Is it bubbler?
It depends on who you talk to. I say water fountain.
Okay.
So some people say bubbler. It's a heated debate.
It's a heated debate.
Yeah, there's probably a podcast out there about it.
Okay, well, we should probably look that up.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So what does it mean to you? We have the Aspen Award there. Obviously, last year we won the Aspen Award, the best community college, technical college in the country. What does it mean to you to be the president of an Aspen winning college?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities that come with that. So you are the standard. So Southwest Tech is the standard, and Aspen recognized us as being the standard of education, or the standard of completion, retention, getting folks a job and a good paying job. And so that is what it is. It's a recognition for the work that is being done and has been done, and the legacy that you're leaving through education. So it's really important to me. It's a platform that not everybody has, and everybody's looking to Southwest Tech as the standard, and they're always trying to figure out, what are they doing over there? How are they doing over there? Can we model that and scale that to fit the institution that we're at? So everybody is aware of that component of it. I think it gives us great opportunity to continue to then take a look at those things and solidify maybe some of the things that we tried, and to see if they were really working and the metrics are demonstrating that they're actually working in the way that we hope they are. Winning the Aspen Prize is not a one and done thing. Every year we have a whole group of students that come in. Things are changing. Students are changing. Our companies that we serve are changing a little bit. So it's always going to have to be evolving and changing as we continue to move through that. I think when we bring on more arts and science students, like we've talked about, going after that platform a little bit more, we're going to have to figure out how did it work on the technical side of the house, because we cohort those students. They usually have a pretty clean pathway in there. How do we continue to replicate that on the arts and science side of the house, or the AA and the AS side of the house? And I think it's important to use what we've learned on the tech side and bring that over to the transfer side of the house as well. So that can be done, and there's other schools who are doing it and doing it well. It also puts us into a network of people that are always growing and always trying to learn and always trying to be on the front edge, or the bleeding edge of changing education landscape across the nation. So you're going to have opportunities, and we're already looking at a couple through the college teaching network that we're talking about joining and doing. And the reason why is they sought us out is they want a couple of technical colleges and community colleges to be part of that group nationally. Well, because you won the Aspen Prize, you have the opportunity for them to come and knock on your door and say, hey, would you be interested in doing that? The number of presentations at national conferences, the amount of just kind of exposure that we're seeing through that, it absolutely does benefit the college. But it can't take away from the work that's being done. So we got recognized for the work that was done. We got recognized for our metrics that we had, and we need to continue to ensure that those stay high and that we're doing a nice job with those. And so I think it's really important. I think it's an opportunity that doesn't come around very often. You're one of one amongst all the community colleges and technical colleges in the nation, and we should be really proud of it, and then take advantage of that. I think there's some opportunity even, I'll say like on the fundraising side or with our alumni. You can see it that they're quite proud. I attended there, and that's a point of pride for many folks. I think there are some funders or donors that have an interest. Okay, we know what you're doing is working and working very well. We'd like to contribute or generously donate towards the efforts and maybe some scholarships for the students that we are currently serving. So there's also an opportunity to utilize that platform to share that message and really show folks what it is that's going on here at Tech.
Obviously, Aspen recognized us. You come from Iowa, a community college background, rural area. Southwest Tech is rural. What challenges are there for higher education in rural areas? We're in a rural area here. Internet, Wi-Fi, connecting with students. What do you see as challenges in a rural community college setup?
Yeah, I think this is going to sound odd, but I think the biggest challenge is the number and the large number of students that aren't going to anywhere after they complete high school. And you can probably go across many rural areas, and you're going to see that number from 35 to 40 to 45% of the graduating class aren't ending up in higher ed anywhere. So the opportunity, in my opinion, is what do those folks do? Where are they getting their skill set in order to be gainfully employed, to have a high-paying job, in a high-skill job, in a high-need area? That's the opportunity in my mind in rural. We also need to be able to be in proximity to them and make it affordable to them to be able to do that. So what are someone with limited resources, limited transportation, just limited access, how do they go about doing that? And I think that's the call of the rural communities. And then we are an economic driver, whether we like to believe it or not, of our communities. So if there's no workforce here, what business is going to come in? How are we going to grow our communities and do the things that we need to do and increase our tax base, increase our cities and towns so we can have additional opportunities in the rural communities? it starts with a good, solidly trained workforce. That's what's going to attract companies and folks to these communities.
Sure, absolutely. And you're keenly aware that higher education is constantly changing rules, regulations. How do you deal with the state and the federal shifting in regulations and still try to keep the focus on the students?
Yeah, so I think that takes a partnership as well. Just like we have a partnership with the K-12 systems and recruiting the students who are going to come to our institution, we should have a very strong connection with our legislators and our government officials. That helps us not be always reactive to what is going on, but proactive in the conversation. And so the Wisconsin technical system here, they're very well informed and they're very well connected. And we collaborate quite well across the entire state. So the presidents get together on a regular basis. We meet with the WTCS group, Wisconsin Technical College System. And I would say that was one of the things that has really attracted me to the state is just the partnership and the camaraderie and the working together in order to make the system as a whole better. And I think when we do that collectively, when we lock arms, the 16 community colleges lock arms together, we're a lot more powerful force when we're doing that together rather than trying to do it independently.
Absolutely. And I know you've been asked this question a lot, obviously through the interview process, your leadership style. Mm-hmm. What is your leadership style when you face uncertainty or changes on the horizon? What do you lean into, Jeremy?
Yeah, these jobs and education, anytime you're dealing with people, it's not often easy. Often there's not a manual that you can go to and just look up the answer and fill that in. And so it is constantly evolving, constantly changing. One of the things that I've always tried to do is I have a couple of philosophies. One, you must be present to win, and I think that's really important. And so partnerships, especially in our region with our college, is really important. And so we need to continue to foster those and build those and make sure that those are very, very strong. I think there's no finish line. That's the other thing that I've really kind of thought about over the last several years in education. We're never going to cross a finish line. It is a run that will never stop. We're always going to need to be, like you said, evolving, changing, improving. And then we all know, every 2 years we've changed over hopefully 100% of our students because they've graduated and gone and got great jobs. And so that race, it's not about finishing. It's about the running of the race. And running that well, consistently, thoroughly, and doing it with all of our efforts. So I think in challenging times, you're always trying to do what's best for the institution. You're always trying to do what's best for the students that you serve. And then you're trying to make the best decisions possible. And we have a really talented group of people around us that are helping contribute to that decision and help talking into that and making sure that we're doing all that we need to do. And then there are folks maybe like an Aspen or some others that we'll be able to lean on. The Community College Research Center, the CCRC, they have a lot of really great data and really great research that comes out on the regular. So we try to be well-read, well-informed, and make sure we have a really strong understanding of just where things are going locally, at the state level, and then nationally as well.
And obviously as a college president and a higher ed administrator, you're also keenly aware of all the hours that you put in.
Yeah.
How do you get ready in the morning? What's your morning routine? Every day is going to be packed with big decisions. So how do you get ready for that every morning, Jeremy?
Yeah, so I'm an early riser. We did talk a little bit about getting a good cup of coffee in the morning, whether that's a nice cup of pour-over coffee or a hot cup. Either one of those are good. And you start with that. And I always try to do something. So whether that's fold a load of laundry or empty the dishwasher, I think just getting the mindset that there's something that needs to be accomplished today. And then quite often, I'm an early riser, so up at 5:36 in the morning, I just can't wait to do what I do. So I don't go to work. I go to a place that I love. I love what's going on here. I love the students that we serve. So it's very easy for me to get up and go in the morning and do that. It's just it's kind of who I am and what I'm wired up for. So people always talk about, man, you did several late nights, or you've gone to this event, or you're there. It's like it's what I enjoy doing, and so for me, it's fun. It's easy. I appreciate very much the people I work with and get to do work with, and that excites me. And then the pinnacle of that is graduation day, right? When you get to see students walk across the stage, we know that that's coming here and towards the end of every spring semester, and then obviously there's a fall graduation too, but. That's the enjoyment when you get to see their families and see their faces and see how proud they are. That's why you do what you do. Oftentimes, in these roles, we don't get told that by students, but you're making a difference, and the things that you help support, the people that you hired, the programming that you helped implemented, the decisions that you made to invest or not invest in something so we could reallocate resources. It made a difference, and that's what keeps me going every single day.
Yeah, our graduation ceremonies are the best days of the year. They're
Outstanding.
Incredible.
Yep.
So speaking of students, I always like to ask educators, when you get a student at the beginning from where they are, maybe year one, and then they get to graduation, you see the progress they made. Mm-hmm. What does that do for you, Jeremy?
Yeah, I think that's the why. That's the compliment. Whether they articulate that verbally or not, whether they write you a note and drop that on your desk or not, watching a student grow, watching a student complete, watch a student become gainfully employed, being a good citizen of our community, and then coming back and hopefully contributing as an alumni or contributing as someone who's on an advisory board. I just think that's the pride in what we do. That's what keeps you going. That's the excitement in my mind.
Yeah, I just want to share a quick story. We had a recent social media campaign, and we asked some students, what are you looking forward to now that you're graduating? And one male student said, I'm looking forward to starting a family now.
Yeah.
That's what we do, right?
Right. That's exactly what you do. And then they have the opportunity to bring their kids here and say, hey, this is the lab that I studied in, and here's the teacher that changed my life, and here's an advisor that I had that went out of their way for me to make sure I had what I needed to have. And here's where I went to the tutoring center when I needed a little help in order to get through one of the classes that was challenging for me. All of those things, it's like family around here, and students know it, and they're very proud of it, and we're proud of them as well.
Absolutely. And the thing I've learned with my years here and in higher education, absolutely everybody has their own story. Mm-hmm. They're not numbers to us. They're people. We know their names. It's a small community. It's exciting to know everybody's story.
Yeah. Yeah. I think of one right now. Alan comes to mind, right? You have a name that's associated with somebody, and the small role that you played in Alan's life to help him, walk across the stage and get to the finish line and be gainfully employed, so he could be sure to help out his mom and take care of his little brother. Yeah, that we all have an Alan in our life, and those are the things that keep you going every single day.
Absolutely. It's an exciting place to work for sure. We mentioned a little bit, you're coming from Iowa, moving up to Wisconsin. Is there anything you're looking forward to moving to the best state in the union, Jeremy?
Yeah, it has been great. So first of all, just driving through this part of Wisconsin, it's gorgeous. So my wife is very into the fall. She's always wanting to go. I think it's very odd you want to go look at things that are dying, but she wants to go look at the leaves as they're changing, right? And I tease her about that. And that's what she said every time we're driving through there. I can't wait for the first fall just to be here and take it all in. We've talked a little bit about my daughter and I being able to get out on a four-wheeler and ride some of the country roads, and the four-wheeler, can't wait for that. And then there's just a number of festivals and things that are going on in the area. We're really excited about exploring that. And who knows, maybe somebody's going to invite me out to go walleye fishing one of these days and trout fishing, get really good trout fishing up here. My dad is an avid trout fisherman, so I suspect that he's going to be bunking in my basement on several weekends to make sure he gets some trout fishing in for sure.
That's great. We talked about your family a little bit. What about your parents? What kind of influences were they, Jeremy?
Yeah, absolutely. So my dad was just a great dad, just a guy that I know he went out and he worked hard every day. So he owned a home improvement business. So we grew up kind of doing those things: siding, windows, doors, gutters, soffit. And then our responsibility was kind of mow the grass of some of the businesses. So we would be out there doing that on the regular. But no matter how much my dad worked or how hard when he came home, he was ready to play ball with us in the front yard. He was ready to do the things that needed to be done. And so I have a lot of respect for him on what that means to be able to do that every morning. I remember getting up in the morning and watching him just kind of read his devotions and read his Bible in the morning. So that was something that stuck with me for a really long time. Mom was the same way. I always felt that mom was very just a wise person, had the ability to do that. My mom passed away when I was in my 30s, passed away of cancer. She was only 59 years old, but I watched her. She did a really, really, really great job raising boys. And so my brother and I, and then my little sister, I think she got treated just differently than the boys did. She was the princess of the family, for sure. So I just had great role models to be able to do that. Mom was an educator, church secretary, and then ended up being a nurse in her life as well. And so instilled just a lot of those kind of traditional values in there. She was always there when we needed her, and we miss her a lot. But that's cancer stinks, man. So I have an experience with that I hope nobody else has to go through.
Absolutely. Well, we're really excited that you're here, Jeremy. We look forward to the coming months and the years. And when you get settled in Wisconsin, I'll have to take you up to Lambeau maybe and try to change your mind.
Yeah, we'll see about that. So hopefully it's during a Bears game. I'd be happy to be the outcast in that crowd. And if we could sit in the end zone, and then if they attempt a Lambeau leap, I'll be able to help push them back onto the field. So
if they will, there's no if about it.
I'm not sure about that. We'll have to see. So bear down. Let's go.
All right. Thanks again, Jeremy. Episode 2 is wrapping up. Join us again for another podcast talking with Dr. Jeremy Pickard, the new president of Southwest Wisconsin Technical College.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.